Hi guys, what's up? This is Community Starcraft 2, and I'm your host Sidewinder. I'm back here to bring you some more pro games so that you can be in the loop as far as what the pros are doing in the Starcraft world. Today we're going to be taking a look at two Korean players, and this looks like a mess, but I'll tell you who these players are. The red Protoss here, I believe is NS Hoso's Tassadar, but it translated out to be something really weird. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm pretty sure this is Tassadar. If it's not, I apologize. But he's going to be fighting Slayer's Heart, which is what this translated out to. It actually translated out to Great Heart, but they have a player on their roster named Heart. I'm pretty sure that's who it is. So I'm just making the best out of the tools that I'm given. And I obviously cannot speak Korean, so I'm pretty sure that's who these two players are. Tassadar recently appeared in the Code finals of the GSL, so he is definitely no bad player whatsoever. Hart is a lesser-known player on Slayers, who is the team run by Boxer, and they're almost an exclusively Terran team, but they field a lot of really good players. They actually won the GSL's Team League recently, I think in their first season, or rather the most recent season, I'm sorry. I believe they did win that, and if they didn't, I apologize as well. But let's actually get into this map. I don't think I've actually casted any games on this map before. This is Icy Cup's Test Bug, and it's a weird name. And it's made by IC Cup, which is basically like a little sort of tournament scene, but it's used. This map is used in the MLG more specifically. It's a very cool map. It's a 3-player map, but it's a one-on-one map. So you can spawn either where we see here, and you can also spawn over here, which is where Tassadar is scouting, and you can spawn where Heart spawns in one of these 3 locations. The cool thing is that they're all different tile sets. You can see the jungle tile set up here at the top. You can see I don't know what kind of tile set it is, it's like more mechanical or whatever in the bottom. And then on the right, it's that like Twilight tile set, I think is what it was called from Starcraft 1. I'm not totally sure about Starcraft 2, but that's kind of what it looks like there to me anyway. And then they kind of meet up in the middle. It's a pretty cool map, but a lot of the time it really comes down to, after you take your natural, holding a third is actually fairly hard, only because they're pretty spread out. There's interesting things around the map, such as the destructible rocks at the gold, but they're actually only blocking the minerals so that you can start your base and knock this down while your base is building, so that helps out. And also these watchtowers here, there's one in each side, and they require to be broken down as well, since there are destructible rocks surrounding them. And there's one watchtower in the middle, so cool map for those of you that have not seen it. Hart is actually going for a second barracks here. Well, it's actually a little bit late now that we are at about 19 supply. Tassadar is not showing anything unusual, except for actually a pretty fast Twilight Council, so as soon as I say nothing unusual, something unusual comes up. Now Tassadar obviously did take his name from Tassadar in the game, and I've noticed that when he plays, he's a fairly new player from NS Hoso, but I've noticed that he always goes Templar tech, whether it's Dark Templar or just regular High Templar. I would imagine this is going to be for Dark Templar since this is such a fast Twilight Council, but Heart's going to have scans. It just really comes down to whether Heart's going to have enough energy to scan when that Dark Templar gets in their base. Otherwise, this could really just be game ending. So this is kind of an all-in-ish sort of move here from Tassadar. And yes, indeed, there's the Dark Shrine coming down. But the other problem is that this leaves you so weak in terms of defending your base. You really need to hold stuff off with a sentry, and you really need good unit control, which Tassadar most definitely does, in order to hold this kind of stuff off. A small little 2 barracks push here from Hart. Usually Terran players will expand behind this rather than kind of keeping the pressure on. So he's just going to send a small squad of units down there and see what he can get done. Tassadar is not going to have his Dark Shrine in time, and he definitely doesn't want to reveal that quite yet. So he really needs to get a sentry out, which he has coming out right now. And it's going to be kind of close as to whether that sentry gets here before the Bioforce arrives. So let's hope Tassadar has enough time to get this here so this game just doesn't end right now. They're going to come up the ramp, and this is going to be so close. The sentry is ready. It needs to drop a force field right away, and it does drop it, but that's actually pretty bad because the Marines can get up here. So if Hart had actually committed, I'd have to say he probably would do a ton of damage with that, so I'm pretty surprised that he fell back. Tassadar is now setting up a proxy pylon for his Dark Templars to get into the base and wreck some stuff up. And, ooh, this could be really bad because Hart is really low on energy on this command center. You can see he's at 17. He has no engineering bay. His command center is now coming up, so he's not going to be able to detect this. He now sees the engineering bay, and he actually sees the Dark Templar warping in. So If you're Hart, you need to race these units back here and hold position on this ramp and just buy time. Either that or wall off. So he needs to pull another SCV here and start another wall. And there it goes. He actually gets it up. Oh, nice. He actually gets it up. The Dark Templar is still going to knock it down, but he just needs to buy time for this energy to replenish. Dark Templar is going to get in here and get a couple of SCV kills. As you can see, there's 2 right there. He does kill a couple of Marines as well. And the SCVs are all just kind of bottling up. Really weird battles here going on here, considering Hart cannot respond to this. 2 more energy. He'll scan and take out this Dark Templar. It should be off right now. But Tassadar runs away. He can actually see the energy bar here. And oh no, Hart actually wastes a scan on the secondary command center. But nevertheless, during all this, that was really clever by Hart. He actually puts up a turret in the mineral line, but Tassadar actually cancels an upgrade that was coming down here. I'm pretty sure that was a stim coming down. I did not catch a glance at it since there was so much action going on. Another missile turret started. Tassadar is just focusing down the add-ons to really slow down Hart as much as he can, and he's keeping these Dark Templar pretty split up. He does not want to bunch them up because if you kill 2 Dark Templars in one scan, that's really bad for Terran. Tassadar is just trying to do as much as he possibly can. He kills a Marauder, and look at the Marauder just fall apart in half. That was really fun to watch. Down goes the supply depot, so Tassadar is doing a ton of damage. And behind all this, he's actually expanding, and this is a very safe expansion since Hart just can't afford to leave his base. This command center is actually getting really, really low. Hart might just want to try and finish it and then lift it off, but he can't. So this command center is actually going to get canceled. This is a huge, huge Dark Templar harassment. And this other Dark Templar still gets away because that scan just did not reach far enough. There's a turret now going up, so Hart's going to be pretty safe from the rest of this. The command center is actually saved, and he's now repairing it. But the amount of damage that Tassadar has done with this is unreal. Look how far ahead Tassadar is in supply right now. 18 supply up, and it's so early in the game. Tassadar has his expansion done, already mining off of it. In terms of army value, he's actually slightly ahead right now, so that was a huge, huge harassment. If Hart is going to win this game, he's really got to come up with something crafty, because he is so far behind right now. This command center is now transforming into an orbital. Another Dark Templar is coming in here, and what this is going to do is if the Terran army decides to push out, he's going to force more scans out of Hart, making it so that he cannot mule as much as he would otherwise like to. And Hart actually does not have enough for a scan right now, but the Dark Templars are just so annoying. You just try to annoy the Terran player to death, essentially, and coupled with good unit control, you'll be absolutely fine. Up comes Tassadar's push, and a weird hold position against that SCV, so just a misclick. The Zealots are all charged, and we're like, yeah, get him! Oh wait, no. And actually Tassadar's morphing this into an Archon, which I've seen him do before, and it's really, really strong if you can get that one Archon in a good spot. The Reaper's now coming down to try and kill his proxy pylon, I would presume. But here comes Tassadar's forces up the ramp. He's ready to go. Good force fields to trap all this bio here. The Archon is now coming up here, but the Archon's trapped behind everything, really not doing anything in this fight. But Tassadar is so far ahead right now, they should be able to just win this game right here, right now. And yes, indeed, Hart says good game. So, yeah, you can see how devastating a good Dark Templar rush is if the Terran player does not have the scan saved up. So it's a little bit risky in that sense. But most Terran players do not save energy on their command centers intentionally, so that's one thing that you can really exploit if you're the Protoss player in this situation. You can see Tassadar had this all mapped out, ready to push at that time once he got his expansion up. He was on 6 gateways, as well as his charge was done on the Zealot, so it's a really powerful timing push there from Tassadar in accordance with that harassment with the Dark Templar. So a really cool build coming down there, catching Hart off guard quite a bit. Hart did pretty well to buy himself some time, but the 2 Dark Templar in there at a time when there's no missile turrets is so hard to deal with. So I hope you guys enjoyed that game. I'll be back for more casts very soon. Stay tuned. I'll see you later.